Move to baseball, where two Jacobs delivered terrific performances from the mound yesterday. Rookie Jacob Misiorowski, the Miz of the Brewers, struck out 8 over 5 shutout innings to beat Paul Skeens and the Pirates 4-2. And in the evening, Jacob deGrom, now of the Rangers, took a no-hitter into the 8th in a 7-0 win over the Orioles. Tone, which Jacob had the more notable pitching performance yesterday, the Miz or deGrom?
Okay, so they pitched against poor teams, so there's no advantage there. So let me go over the numbers, the important numbers. Misiorowski went 5 innings. He gave up no runs. He had 2 hits, he walked 2, and he struck out 8 in 5 innings. And he was pitching, as you said, against Skeens. And the remarkable thing to me was he hit 100 miles an hour much more often than Skeens did.
Yeah,
he did it 19 times in 74 pitches, and Skeens only did it once in 78 pitches. deGrom had a perfect game through 6. He walked 2 in the 7th, but he kept the no-hitter through 7. First batter in the 8th got a hit, so they took him out. So he goes 7 innings, gives up 1 hit, also walks 2, and he has 7 strikeouts. Is that better than Misiorowski? Mike, I would say it is slightly better because he pitched 2 more innings, because he's 37 and he's had 2 Tommy Johns, and in his comeback year, he's 8-2 with a 2.08 ERA.
It's great. But Miz pitched against Skeens. He pitched against a guy last year who everybody had being the greatest thing ever. And Skeens is still terrific, by the way. But the Miz, Tony, this kid, look, just about the time I had to stop hating Aaron Rodgers because we got rid of one cheesehead, another one shows up in Wisconsin. This kid, the Miz, Tony, he gave up no hits in his first appearance. He gave up essentially no hits, I think 1 hit in his second appearance. He's given up 3 hits in 3 starts.
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
This kid is he's the deal. He's 6'7". He's coming at you like Randy Johnson. I know Randy Johnson was 6'10". Tony, no. It's the Miz. He pitched. He did this against Skeens. He upstaged
I'm going
Paul
to point out
Skeens.
I'm going to point out to our viewers that because he's in the same division as the Cubs, you are inclined to watch him and inclined to like him. This is the curse of your divisions all the time. You know what the batting average against him is? Now, it's only 16 innings. Batting average against is 0.61.
Come on now.
It's 0.6. No, it's not 0-something. It's 0.61. Whereas deGrom is, against deGrom is,
DeGrom's great.
A 1.89. deGrom's great.
I'll take deGrom
we
right
move to
now,
tennis.
but this kid is, woo.
Sure. We have baseball questions for our great friend, ESPN senior baseball insider, Mr. Jeff Passan. Jeff, let's start with this. The Mets lost 10 of 11 games before beating the Braves last night. Question 1 is, are you confident in the state of the Mets? And question 2, where are you on Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves?
Tony, I want to be bullish on the Mets because I saw the way that they played over the first, 65 or so games of the season. They were really good. They pitched at the top of their lineup, even when Juan Soto wasn't hitting. Francisco Lindor was, Pete Alonso was, Brandon Nimmo was, Jeff McNeil was. So there's talent there, but the way that they've looked over the last week and a half has been very problematic. And I think it shows that before the July 31st trade deadline, David Stearns, their president of baseball operations, has a lot of work to do. Now, they're missing Kodai Senga. He has a sub-1.5 ERA this year. So when he comes back, it's going to be a little bit better. They just got Frankie Montas back, looked really good in his first outing. So I think some of this is getting healthy, but let's look at what Soto has done, particularly in June. This is the Juan Soto, guys, who signed for $765 million. His OPS is up almost at 900 at this point, and all of those frustrations of the first 6-7 weeks of the season seem to have melted away, and he's finally getting comfortable and being the guy that the Mets thought that they were bringing in, and the one who I still think is going to lead them to a postseason spot. The Braves, on the other hand, they look better, and Acuna's looked like one of the best players on earth. I mean, when he is healthy, he's up there with Ohtani, he's up there with Judge. He is awesome, but Chris Sale being out with broken ribs, not great, and there's just not a whole lot of pitching depth with the Braves right now. And on top of that, they got to claw their way back from that deficit that they had at the beginning of the season when they lost 7 straight games. That sort of thing looms large in a playoff scope that is as tight as the National League is right now.
Well, yeah, part of that tightness is in the Central, where the Cubs are still leading the Brewers and Cardinals. And I want to ask you about Kyle Tucker. Jeff, he's played really, really well, but as you know, of course, he will be a free agent if the Cubs don't get him off the market. What do you think is likely to happen with Tucker as well as he's been playing? You think the Cubs sign him, trade him, or just let him walk, which is what I fear?
Well, I can tell you one thing, Mike. They are not going to trade him because this is a first-place team right now, a team that has not just playoff aspirations, but believes it can be a World Series contender. And that is specifically because of who Kyle Tucker is. He does so many of the things that, me personally, baseball fan, absolutely loves. Beyond playing defense and running the bases, 19 stolen bases already. He's a guy who's near the 300 batting average, 400 on base, 500 slug. That is rarefied territory. More than that, though, he walks more than he strikes out. And for a guy who is a power hitter like that, for him to take those quality at-bats, I've talked with people in the Cubs organization and on the team, and they say that Kyle Tucker sets a specific type of standard for the at-bat that a Chicago Cub should take. And so then it goes back to Tom Ricketts. Is he willing to put money down on the table? Because it's going to cost a lot. Kyle Tucker has played himself well into the $400 million+ range. And at 29 years old, he is going to be far and away the most exciting free agent this offseason and the one that all the big market teams are going to want to bring in. So Ricketts is going to have to step up, put his money where his mouth is, and do what he hasn't done yet as owner of the Cubs.
Yeah, as we are well aware, who are Cub fans for life. Tucker and Alex Bregman leave Houston, Jeff. And yeah, Houston rolls right along, got the 5+ game lead in first place in their division. How do the Astros keep doing this?
Because they're inevitable, Mike. Every single year, it seems like the Astros just keep bringing players in, developing players, making good deals. Jeremy Pena has taken a leap forward this year. Isaac Paredes at third base absolutely loves Dyken Park, but it gets down to their starting pitching. Hunter Brown has emerged as a Cy Young candidate. Framber Valdez is his steady self. And when you have Josh Hader and Brian Abreu at the back end of that bullpen, it's a tough road to hoe for any team trying to beat the Astros.
We will get you out of here on this. It's about a story that you wrote, and the piece dropped today. It's about rookie on the A's, Jacob Wilson, who has hit nearly .350 this season. He included one unusual theory. He talked to you about it for his early success. Share it with us, please.
Jacob Wilson believes that he is as good of a baseball player as he is because he plays Fortnite. Now, if this sounds a little bit weird, I thought so as well at the beginning, but his argument here is that when you are playing Fortnite, it is a game with fast decision making, and it teaches you that in the moment you have to see what's right in front of you and react instantaneously. And what does that sound like? Sounds a lot like trying to hit a baseball. And look, Jacob Wilson has plenty of other things going for him. His father was Jack Wilson, longtime big league shortstop. So he's got the genetics. He works hard, but he's not giving up video games. In fact, he is playing them so he can become a better baseball player, guys.
Jeff, if
the generation gap,
being an ace at
Wilbon
Fortnite makes you a great baseball player, my son should be Willie damn Mays if one correlates to the other.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I'm like 80 years removed from this thing. Let's take one. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take one last break. Still heavy trails to the Rockies catching a pop-up. The Dodgers and Rockies were tied at 0 in the top of the 6th last night when Max Muncy popped one up towards second. Colorado's second baseman Thairo Estrada lost it in the rain, and the ball dropped right next to the first baseman. Because there had been 2 out, the runners were off on contact, so 2 runs scored. A rain delay immediately followed, as did an eventual 8-1 loss by the Rockies, who are now 18-62 this season.
I can't care about the Rockies. I'm just breathing easy because the Cubs split with the Cardinals, winning this afternoon in St. Louis. That's all I care about.
Let's go to the big finish if we could. The Knicks
Let's
will
do it.
reportedly interview Pelicans assistant James Borrego. Is that a good fit?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good fit. You know who's a good fit? You and I talked about this. The guy coaching in Dallas. He's a good fit for the Knicks if they can get him. That's who they want. The NFL suspended ex-Ravens kicker Justin Tucker 10 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Your thoughts?
That's why they cut him, and that's why the Ravens drafted a kicker. The Bucs extended the deals of head coach Todd Bowles and GM Jason Light. Okay by you?
I mean, the record's not great, 27-24, but the 3 straight NFC South titles, yeah, it's okay with me. Caitlin Clark out against the Sparks tonight with a left groin issue. Concerned?
Yeah, this is the second time she'll be out this season, and she's in a terrible shooting slump. So, yeah, I'm concerned. Last one, NHL and Players Union could expand the season from 82 games to 84. You okay with that?
You know, I don't like any more expansion of games. No, games should be reduced. But if you get an additional division game against a rival, I guess it's okay to do that, Tony. That'd be fine.
I don't know. We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. You know what's coming now, right, Tony? Come on.
Matt Williamson.
Coaxing it out of you.
Thanks for showing
Your
up.
SportsCenter.